In this video, I'd like to share with you a metaphor that I use when introducing the present moment. The present moment is like buying a car. When we're buying a car, we're looking for value. When I go out and I look at a car that I'm deciding on purchasing, I'm looking for value. I'm trying to see, am I going to get value out of this car? So what happens is I walk up and I see the car and I begin with the front door. And I open the front door and I sit inside, and immediately I smell. What does the car smell like? Does it smell new? Does it smell like old food? Does it smell like some nice essence? I take a smell. I feel what the steering wheel feels like. I put in my hands and I just hold it, and I grab the shifter and I move that around, and I press the clutch and the brake, and I start to get a bit of a sense of what the car would be like to be sitting in the passenger seat. Then I step out and I have a look at the interior. I look at the seat. I have a look if there's any stains. What's the type of material that's used? Is it leather? Is it some type of material? What colors are used? Is there something is there a faded part? Are there any smoking burn holes? I look at all those different things throughout the rest of the car as well. I look at the carpet. Is it dirty? Has it been cleaned? Does it have car mats? So I'm looking at all the detail. I'm really getting involved in the detail, the present moment. I want value for the money I'm about to give for this car. And then I go outside and I look around the rest of the car. And as I'm looking for stone chips, I'm looking for scratches, I'm looking for the paint to be in good condition. I want to make sure that it's shiny, that it's not dirty. I have a look towards the bottom of the car where the rocks might be thrown up and they chip on the sides. I go to the front of the car. I have a look at what's the bumper area look like. Has it been hit? Have there been any minor scratches? Are the lights working? Are the indicators working? I look at the roof. Has it been weathered a lot by frost or too much sun? Is the finish of it in okay order, or is it starting to peel? I start looking at the tyres, and so I go through all of this detail, and it's amazing how much time and energy and effort we can spend in just looking at a car. I'm looking for value in a car, and I can spend all of this energy, this time. You get under the car, you have a really good look. You might even call a friend to come and have a look, and you look at it in incredible detail. And so life is like that. If we go out and we look for value in our life, in that present moment where we're looking for it in the here and the now, the detail of the car, if I start looking at the detail of my life, I might go for a walk, and there might be a lot of value in just this very simple walk. I might see the leaves and how they move in the sunlight. I might go up to a leaf and look at the different colours of green there. I'll see the bark and how it changes the formation, or it changes how the trunk looks, and I'll see the bigger branches and I'll see the minor branches, and I'll continue to walk, and I'll notice whether it's nice and cool on my face in winter, or whether it's nice and warming in summer. If it's autumn, I might look at the leaves and see them changing colour. As I'm walking, I might listen out for neighbours and whether there's children laughing, or I'll hear whether there's any birds singing, if there's any wildlife around. I'll make sure that I am absorbing all of nature's beauty and trying to get value out of this walk. The present moment is about that. It's about finding ourselves in a space where we can appreciate what's happening here and now. There's a real appreciation, there's a real richness, a real depth that happens when we stop, when we drop anchor, when we start to notice those things that have value. And there's an enormous amount of value. There's an enormous amount of things we can be grateful for, or things that we can enjoy, things that we can have pleasure from in the here and the now. And that's exactly what we're trying to get connected with. And I know that in the present moment that there's a greater richness than if we just walk through life in a hurried manner or in a fast pace without considering, without stopping, without grounding. So the present moment is about richness. It's about a grounding situation where I then get to, from that grounded place, I get to appreciate what life has to offer. So that's how I would introduce the present moment with my clients. The metaphor of buying a car is fantastic. Most people have bought a car previous and they've looked at all the detail. I ask that we look at the detail of our life, because life is like buying a car. And so I'd introduce that with my clients, have a bit of a chat, and we generally have a bit of a laugh about how we can spend so much time there and yet forget to do those other things. A little bit of a case study. I had a client who had been walking had been walking for years. They were a bit of a, quite motivated in fitness, and so it was something that they did on a regular basis. And we went through the metaphor, and the next week they came back and they said, Nesh, you never guess what happened. I did a walk that I've never done before. And I said, well, what was that? And he said, it was the same one that I've been doing for so many years, but this time I slowed it down. This time I appreciated what was happening and what was around. I was able to absorb all of these different things that I'd never seen before. And he said there were trees that I'd never seen before. There were houses that I hadn't seen before. There was wildlife that I'd never heard before. There were birds, and there were trees, and there were people that were walking along as well. And I'd never taken notice of any of those. I was just too busy doing exercise rather than getting the richness of life at the same time. So it's very applicable, it's very powerful, and I think it's something that both yourself and your clients will use and find very, very effective. Thanks. See you next time.